as far as body image, that was also, again, a time thing. For a long time, I had to, it was kind of like the fake it till you make it thing. I'd like pretend I was okay with myself, tell myself I was beautiful when I really didn't believe it. But I think there was a little click with that. And this is the only thing I remember being a click, actually. And it's just like Becky said, like sometimes the most insignificant things really are just like so important to us. But like I had said, I had always freaked out with comments when people said, you look great. And like, of course, we're teenagers, like a big word, you look hot. So like that was always like, oh my God, no. So I remember I went to a Sweet 16 and I wore like a nice dress, and a boy, like one of my friends said to me, like, wow, like, Christina, you look hot. And I was like, and it took me a second and I didn't freak out. And then I was like, wait a minute, like, I'm not freaking out. And that was just a little click for me. Like, I mean, just that I didn't like freak out over that. I wasn't like jumping for joy, of course, but that was like where it kind of was like, oh, maybe that's okay. And maybe he's actually giving me a compliment. And so that was kind of a little thing. But I would definitely say like over time it evolved. Yeah.
Another thing to add, about the meal plan, like I'm sure you remember, I used to type up my meal plans, everything I ate from 8th grade to, I would say, 11th grade. I had a book of everything I've ever ate. And I recently threw it out, and I was like, why would I do that? I mean, I had to, but why would I go through the extra trouble of calculating it 3 times just to make sure I was okay?
I think for me, the body image thing was extremely gradual, but actually I think more like the physical, medical eating part for me, it was kind of like a stage or step point thing. Like I would have plateaus and steady points, and then all of a sudden it kind of would be like a snap of the finger thing where all of a sudden it'd be like one day, you know what? I'm going to do this. Step up. Okay. Step up, But as far as body image goes, that was just very slow and very gradual.
Just a thing for patients or anyone, like I always tell people, like in high school, the girls that are struggling, to write like things on your mirror, positive things, like you are beautiful. And I want to do that in my school and like write in the bathrooms, but they wouldn't let me. Or just like signs, like you are beautiful and you are amazing, and just positive reinforcements, because a lot of times the most positive enforcement you could get is from yourself. Any other questions, or do you have anything?
Seems like setting goals was a big motivator for all of you too.
Definitely setting goals, especially since I did that Maudsley method that I was talking about. And when I first stopped doing it, Ghana was kind of far in advance and kind of a no at that point. So we set little goals, like we would go to the mall or go get our nails done or something like that with my mom, just little time weekly things. And then eventually it became, bigger goals. And now, as I said, like life has just taken over, and I feel like I have something, I always wanted something to look forward to, but now I just feel like I have something to look forward to every day. Like I get up and I look forward to going to school, actually, it's just little things like that. So yeah, but goals were definitely helpful. Yeah.
Are you familiar with Life Without a Pickle?
Yes.
So she was here last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great. Most of the patients find that helpful in terms of saying this those thoughts, even sort of thoughts. There are some patients who don't. They don't really like that whole schema. Did you find that helpful, or do you find that idea of separating yourself from the eating disorder as you were recovering, did you find that helpful?
I actually did this thing with my therapist where I put Ed in a chair. That was helpful, and I liked the Ed. It was kind of like a breakup for me, and I liked that breakup because it made me just like a boyfriend where you eat ice cream after you have a breakup, and I did eat ice cream after I had a breakup, and I liked that. And I used to put Ed in a chair at meal times, and I'd be like, no, I can eat this, nothing's gonna happen, and pretty much screw you.
I agree. I am a fan of the dichotic, is that a word, personality. And I also, I did try and separate Ed from myself. And what I did at one point, I went through a phase where I sort of like have inner arguments with myself between like me and Ed. And it'd be like, should I eat this or should I not? And on the one hand, I'd have Ed going, don't eat it. You're going to gain weight. You're going to be ugly. And then I'd literally, like talk back. And I mean, granted, this would be like in my head, but it would be like a conversation. And I'd be like, well, I kind of don't care what you think. And I kind of am going to eat it. And it would almost, it's kind of, talking about it out loud, it kind of makes me sound like schizophrenic in a way. But it became like a game for me. And in a good way, though. Because it'd be like, who's going to win, me or Ed? And I like winning. Most people do. So it's fun to be like, hi, I don't care who you are and what you think. And you can tell me whatever you want about what I'm going to eat, but I'm going to do it anyway. And it's like you're standing up to someone, and it kind of gives you a sense of pride. Like, as weird as that may sound, it truly does. And I do support the Ed separation thing.
To be honest, I really did like that book, and I tried it, and to some extent it worked. But I guess what was more helpful for me was, I guess it's kind of similar. For a long time, I had very, very, very black and white thinking, and that really pertained to myself as well. I discussed this with my therapist for a long time, and I basically viewed there was the emaciated Christina lying in a hospital bed, and then there was the morbidly obese Christina who could never go out because she was disgusting and ugly and everyone hated her. And there was no middle ground. There wasn't an image in my head of like healthy, fun, going out with friends, living a normal teenage life, Christina. I didn't ever have that image in my head. I couldn't imagine that. And I had to work very, very hard to like just create that image in my head. And I guess once I could finally see that, and once I started becoming it, that's what really helped for me. So yeah.